Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are going to check out another very interesting Chap Mei set. And as you can see, we have quite a bit going on in this set. This is a huge set. There's a lot in here. We've got a really cool airplane. We have a human that I would imagine would be the pilot for the airplane. It looks like we might have some guns and stuff up there that maybe we could put on the airplane. We've also got ourselves a very large T-Rex, and what's interesting about the T-Rex is it actually is that same Rex that you see in a lot of those Kid Connection sets. So furthering my suspicion that potentially Chap Mei is related to that Kid Connection line. I was never positive on that, but it seems like it's probably the case. And then you can also see another human figure in there, and there's also some baby dinosaurs. It looks like maybe some sort of like a capture net. And the area that I think I'm probably most excited about, we've got ourselves a very small Carnotaurus and a Spinosaurus, which is super cool. So tons of stuff going on in this set. The artwork of the box is pretty much your standard when it comes to the Dino Valley line. It looks like all the stuff that we usually see. Like over here, you could see a really cool image of I guess a Tyrannosaur of some kind chasing some people. And we've also got a very small Spinosaurus as well as a Dilophosaurus in there. So it absolutely looks as though the people of Dino Valley are in trouble when it comes to the different dinosaurs that they have available there, apparently terrorizing everyone. And then here on the back of the box, we again have a really cool image. I absolutely love this image down here showing off Dino Valley and numerous different dinosaurs that we have. We've got some sort of a Tyrannosaur here. We have another Tyrannosaur over there to the left, but it looks as though we've got like an Allosaur back there. That definitely looks like the more recent Chap Mei offering for the Allosaurus. There's even a dog down here. So really cool image. I love that stuff. The artwork of these boxes honestly is amazing. I really like that kind of, again, fantasy style, like humans living with dinosaurs, sort of like war type thing going on. It would make an incredibly awesome Saturday morning cartoon, that's for sure. And then you can see up here in the top right-hand corner, again, more of the set itself showing off images of what's contained within. And you also can see a massive Dino Valley logo on here as well. So let's go ahead and pop this box open and bring everything in from there. So we've got everything extracted from the box now here and sitting out, and it really does look awesome. I specifically am quite impressed with those smaller dinos down there, even though they're like really little kind of cheaper versions of other figures that Chap Mei has released. The detail is super vibrant on them. Like, it really pops. But definitely a really nice looking set overall. I do really like the airplane as well. Like, if a kid were acquiring this set, they would completely go nuts for the stuff that's included in here, especially that airplane, because the airplane has some pretty cool guns and stuff on it. I like the design of it as a whole, and there's just a lot of playability with the set overall that, I feel like kids would love, but even adult collectors have the opportunity to enjoy. So let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look at all of this right now. So we'll begin with the T-Rex, but what's actually interesting about this Rex is it's a figure I have reviewed here on the channel in the past, so it's not something that we really need to take a look at too thoroughly this time around, because again, I did review this one prior, but you can see that it basically sports a really nice kind of a greenish color scheme with some nice striping down the back, and as a whole has a very strong Jurassic Park 3 type of resemblance to it as far as the toy line goes. As far as the Rex actually from that toy line goes, it looks very similar to that Rex, which again, in my opinion, I don't know if it was just inspired by that figure or not. I have no idea, but it definitely looks fairly similar to it. Not exact, but kind of similar to the Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex. And you can see, again, that it has some pretty nice looking detail, honestly, throughout. Like, not incredibly impressive, but decent looking detail nonetheless. And one thing to take note of is that the insides of the legs aren't kind of hollowed out, so that's something that you've seen, and you'll actually see on the smaller figures, but that's something that Chap Mei does from time to time, but they didn't do that here on this Rex. You can even see that almost classic Jurassic Park T-Rex type of a scaling here, as it has that very significant type of scaling, and you see that here on this Rex. You've got like skin folds and stuff. I really do like the skin texture here of the stomach region, and you can also see as we lead right here, you've got a little area with some injuries, some slices, and obviously a button to push right there, which we will do here in just a moment. Nice looking arm sculpts and everything here. Nice muscle definition applied to that area. And the eyes are kind of like that glass eye type of a look, and I would imagine that's definitely going to relate to that button right there. You do have an articulated jaw, Doesn't open and close perfectly. You can see that's as far closed as it gets, and that's as far opened as it gets. You've got some teeth there painted with a nice bright white. I would have personally preferred a little bit of like a different tone of color to add a little realism, but considering this is just a toy, it doesn't really need realism. It's totally okay that it has that look. And again, they're pretty nicely painted. Each tooth is sculpted individually, decently well done as far as the paintwork goes. So we're going to push this button and find out what happens here. So as you can see, the eyes light up red, giving our Rex a very menacing look, and you also have that kind of almost at this point classic Chap Mei T-Rex roar, because they use that roar on a lot of their different dinosaurs. It almost reminds me of like that vintage, like if you had seen a 1950s dinosaur movie, the type of roar you would have heard from that type of a film. And then here you can take a look at the opposing side of the Rex. Again, pretty standard T-Rex that I feel like at this point, most people, if you've ever visited like the toy section of a Walmart, have already seen, because again, this is that same type of Rex that you usually see in the Kid Connection sets. So it's a pretty frequently found T-Rex, but definitely a fun little addition to the set here from Chap Mei, and also really quite large. It definitely sports a very impressive size as a whole. And then you've also got this net here that you can use to kind of capture and trap your dinosaurs. It can open pretty wide, as you can see. Definitely has some pretty good distance there to, drop down on your dinosaurs and capture them. It also has a pretty nice, very durable feel to it, so it doesn't look like it's anything that would break very easily. And then we've got our 2 Dino Valley employees, and I believe we've actually had these guys in other sets, because I always remember this guy specifically because I feel like he looks a lot like Vin Diesel, and this guy I also recall. So they have both been reviewed here on the channel as well, but if you happen to have missed out on any of the other sets that I've reviewed when it comes to these Chap Mei figures, this might be a good one to grab just to snag both of the human characters that I've seen in the past in one set. Both very highly detailed. They've got some really nice paintwork for the most part to them. Nothing overly amazing as far as the paintwork goes, but pretty much what you would expect for this type of figure, kind of your standard. They also do have articulation. You can see a nice head and neck articulation, as well as arm articulation, and then legs, and of course both legs can move independently. They don't have to move together. And this guy over here to our left also sports the exact same articulation. So pretty cool additions to the set, and definitely really fun Dino Valley human figures. Then we've got ourselves the airplane, and what a really cool look for the airplane. Look at the awesome appearance to it from up above with these insanely cool dinosaur logos here, and you can see, as you might take notice to, we kind of have like a target there on our dinosaurs. So clearly these guys aren't messing around. They aren't coming in to make friends with these dinosaurs, and you can tell that based off of the weaponry that we have here on our plane, and they definitely don't look like they're here to capture and play with the dinosaurs, although they do have a net, so maybe they are going to capture some, but I guess they keep up with the weapons here just in case they need them. You can even see like some damage here on the airplane, which is pretty cool, showing that they've encountered dinosaurs before with this plane, and I really do like the color. I like the yellowish tone. The underside has a nice white, and it looks really neat, very flashy, definitely something that, again, kids would like. And you also have the ability to kind of move the propeller here on the front, which is pretty cool, so a little bit of extra playability with the set as far as that goes. Definitely, again, another really cool addition to the set, really hammering out a lot as far as the playability standpoint goes for this set. Then you've got yourself some nice little extras, as we have like shovels and lanterns and cameras and all kinds of stuff here on this little set where you can just kind of cut these off and then, of course, play with them. You also have binoculars and things like that. It's always fun to have these. There's no real specific paintwork to them or anything. They're all just kind of like that grayish tone, but they are all very highly detailed, like super, super highly detailed, I will say that. And then on top of those, we have these guys, which these guys are included in so many different Chap Mei sets. We have these really cool kind of hatchling dinosaurs, as well as an egg, again, that you can kind of put your dinosaur in to hatch out of. So absolutely a lot of playability as far as these little guys go. So I kind of understand why Chap Mei continues to include them, but definitely something that we see in a lot of different Chap Mei sets. So if you are a Chap Mei collector, at this point you probably have a fleet of baby dinosaurs for your Dino Valley. And then we've got ourselves these smaller figures, which these ones are the figures I think I was really excited about when it comes to this set. Specifically, of course, actually the Carnotaurus, but this Spinosaurus, because they do have a larger version of this Spinosaurus out, and it looks amazing if you ask me, but I have yet to find it anywhere. Like, it's actually kind of a complicated figure to find, which is really sad because it's an absolutely beautiful looking, kind of old school, like, bipedal Jurassic Park 3 type of a Spinosaurus. And you can see on this one, again, it absolutely has a very similar look to a JP3 Spino. Really similar look here in the head sculpt, and you can see throughout the entire body, that sculpt and detail is amazing looking, really, really vibrant, and look at the scale detail. Like, there is just tons and tons of detail on this figure. Really nice sculpt up there in the sail. You've got the rib cage here, nice muscle definition throughout. Pretty nice looking foot sculpt, but that's probably one of the weakest points of the figure as a whole, but still a really cool looking Spinosaurus. This one, again, does have that kind of hollowed out inside of the leg like you see on a lot of more modern Chap Mei figures. You've got a nice curve there in the tail, lots of osteoderms throughout. Not much as far as coloration goes for the figure, as we only have a brown and then kind of like some purplish designs throughout, but it's not meant to be one of like the main attractions for the set. It's just a really neat little extra that Chap Mei has included here, but for me, it's kind of like the thing that I was most excited about for the set would be these really cool smaller dinosaurs. You can see the teeth aren't painted, unfortunately, but the mouth is open, and the eyes have that same coloration as far as like that purplish tone, or like almost like a mixture of like a bluish purple. But actually, looking at it from this side, it might be more of a blue than a purple. I might be just colorblind, I don't know. But really cool looking Spinosaurus, an awesome addition to this set. And then you also have the Carnotaurus, and the Carnotaurus looks pretty darn close to the Carnotaurus from Chap Mei that I reviewed not long ago, which I was also a big fan of. They have that kind of light and sound version of a Carnotaurus that looks very, very similar to this. And you can again see on this one, the detailing is amazing. Super, super nice looking scale detail. Like insane amounts of detailing on these. That's kind of like that classic Chap Mei detail that I know and love, where they just always add so much sculpt to their figures. This one as well has its mouth in an open position. You can see the teeth and everything again aren't painted, but they look great. And this is a similar look to it as far as the coloration to what we had just seen on the Spinosaurus there, with we just have like the brown and then an alternate tone of color. This time we have a green that kind of designs through, but it looks awesome. And as far as like a Dino Valley version goes, really cool. Again, you're never going to find accurate dinosaurs, it seems, when it comes to the Chap Mei line, because they really wouldn't be accurate, because if they're still alive today, they would have evolved at least a little bit. So it's totally understandable that Chap Mei can kind of create dinosaurs in any way that they see fit and give you them, and it's okay, because we don't know what these guys would have looked like. If Carnotaurus had survived, who knows what he would have looked like currently. And as a whole, though, again, a really cool looking Carnotaurus here for the Chap Mei line. Definitely awesome additions to this really cool set. So as far as sizes go, I don't think that we're going to measure each and every one. There's just too many figures here to measure. We'd be here all day, and the review would get boring pretty quick, but we'll just go ahead and jump straight to a size comparison. So we have Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon here, included with a size comparison, our usual review comparison suspects. And even though Mr. Papo Rex is a little bit further forward than he probably should be to show you an accurate size of that Rex back there, you can definitely see that it completely towers over Mr. Papo T-Rex. So again, showing off the impressive size of that figure, like I stated earlier, really does have a very, very nice size to it. But as far as the human figures go, you can see there next to Muldoon back there, they are right there in that 3 3/4 inch size range, as you normally find with, a lot of different toy lines. They usually keep the human figures kind of in that size range, and you can see that again here with the Chap Mei versions are completely in that same size range as Muldoon. So they work perfectly when kind of mixing and matching with the Jurassic World toys. And you can again see as far as those smaller dinosaurs here up front, they're a little bit smaller than the Attack Pack size range, but not quite what I would say would be a mini figure. So you can see again, I think roughly what the size is there of all of these different figures next to each other. They're probably mostly like obvious sizes, but I did want to again give you a size comparison here to potentially help you out if you are unfamiliar with any of these. So this Chap Mei set is definitely another really cool set. You've got a lot included in this one. The set as a whole is very large, very impressive. the box was quite massive, and they just include a ton in this one. Again, you've got that really neat looking T-Rex that sports that classic kind of Jurassic Park 3 type of a look to it. You have some nice playability with that Rex, as well as there's some articulation. You've got the light up feature with the eyes, the really cool sounds and stuff. So again, something that kids are without question going to enjoy. You also have the extras with the baby dinosaurs, as well as the kind of like, shovels and stuff like that. So pretty neat little extras, but there's something that are really oftenly found in the Chap Mei line. Like, you find those a lot in these sets. So if you have purchased Chap Mei sets in the past, you probably are already quite familiar with those. Then you also have the airplane, which the airplane is awesome, honestly. I really like that. Definitely a fun addition to the set, some nice playability to it, and I could see kids greatly enjoying that, kind of attacking the T-Rex and maybe the T-Rex taking it down and crashing the airplane. Like, they would definitely enjoy that, and it's just another really neat looking, very visually appealing addition to this set. I love the colors of that plane and the overall design to it, as well as the stickers and everything applied look awesome. Then you have the human figures, which those as well have been included in many different Chap Mei sets, so if you happen to have them from previous sets, you can again grab a few extras here and just have more Dino Valley workers that can get eaten by your dinosaurs. And definitely fun, very nicely articulated, nicely sculpted and painted figures. And then on top of those guys, you've also got that kind of net that you can drop down and capture yourself some dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs that you would most likely be capturing, because the net's not super huge enough to capture that huge T-Rex, would probably be the Spino and the Carnotaurus, which I really like those figures. They're kind of the star of the show for me for this set, because I think the sculpts of both are really neat, super nicely done detail-wise, and just two really cool looking figures. I like the fact that the Spinosaurus kind of looks like their larger version, kind of shrunken down, but it also sort of looks like a JP3 Spinosaurus, which again I do like. And then the Carnotaurus is actually really nice looking overall. If it weren't for the arms being so large and having the wrong digits and everything on them, I would think that that's pretty close to a nice looking Carnotaurus, like not so exaggerated like you normally find with the Chap Mei line. So as a whole, these are all actually really quite cool figures, and again, another really neat set from Chap Mei that you could potentially pick up if you find this at Big Lots or even Dollar General. I actually have seen some Chap Mei sets showing up at Dollar General. I also know that you can find these at Family Dollar. I have seen some Chap Mei sets. I actually think I've seen this one there. So quite a few different options for you if you are in the vicinity of any of those stores to go search yourself out some Chap Mei, and hopefully you can grab this set for yourself. So make sure you do that, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.